I apologize for the background noise, by the way. They are doing some really, really loud yard work across the way, and not much that I can do about it. Sorry. Hello geeks, and welcome back to Running Geek Girl. My name is Heather and I am glad you are here today. If this is your first time here, why don't you consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the running content I have coming out all the time. If this is not your first time here, welcome back. I am so glad to have you back here in the Geek Den. I just thought I would do a short update video today to kind of give you an idea of where my head is at going into the Route 66 half marathon that's in Tulsa this Sunday, November 20th. Now, I was training for this for a while, trying to make sure that I could get back into half marathon shape since I hadn't run that distance since I had done some 50K races earlier this year. But I was kind of getting back in shape, and then the wheels kind of came off because I came down with the flu. I had to miss a week of training when I normally would have been ramping things up for that final little bit before the taper. So I had to concentrate on kind of rebuilding and making sure that I could run at all. And now here I am in taper week. So with the race coming up, I thought I would talk a little bit about what I'm planning on doing and my kit for the day, and just kind of where I'm at as far as being ready for the half marathon. So let's start with the easy stuff. What am I bringing with me for my kit? So I have been weather stalking, and like you do the whole week or so before a race. And we are in a cold front here in the south, and it is going to be very cold very early in the morning. And from what I've seen, it's going to be very windy as well. And guys, I do not do well in the cold and the wind. My body does not adjust to cold very easily. So I am really not looking forward to that. From what I've seen so far, around the time that the race starts, that should be around 25 degrees, but with the wind chill, it's going to be closer to 20. Around the time that I plan on finishing the race, it will have only gotten up to about 35 degrees, but 30 with the wind chill, so that is still below freezing. And I'm looking at around an 8 to 10 mile per hour wind during the entire duration of the race. So I've got to wear layers. I've got to dress for the cold, which is not ideal, but I've got to stay warm. As long as I can stay warm, I can keep moving. So starting with my very base layer, I almost always run in underwear. They're very comfortable, they are moisture wicking, and I don't have any chafing problems with them. So there's that. And then for the sports bra, I almost always, for race purposes, will wear the Queen Key bra. There's no underwires or anything, so super comfortable. I usually do have to add a little bit of extra right here just to make absolutely sure that I don't chafe, because every once in a while, if I sweat too much, I can get a little bit of chafing right here. But that doesn't happen too often, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. And what I like about this is that it comes with an extra pocket on the back in between the shoulder blades. So I've got that to carry my phone or ID and stuff like that. So this is very, very useful. Then for my socks, I'm going to be wearing these light compression socks by OS First, and a very good brand. These are super duper comfortable, and normally I would wear a kind of a knee length compression sock, but when I'm wearing tights, I don't really find that as comfortable, and so those are the calf length, and that's what I'm going to go with. Then, of course, a nice pair of running tights. They have these great deep pockets on the side. These were some that I picked up on Amazon. I've been running in this for a couple of years. I trade them out every year or so just to kind of make sure that they stay in good shape, but these hold the shape really well. They give me just the right amount of compression and just the right amount of warmth. They still allow me to move. So wearing these tights, and I'll be carrying a lot of stuff in my pockets, so pockets are a must. Next, I have this sweatshirt, and this is from the athletic department of Walmart. It is a brand Time and True. And it's soft, it's comfortable, and most importantly, it is warm. And then finally, on top of everything, I have this nice warm vest that I'm going to be wearing. Again, I have some extra pockets so I can carry Kleenex and stuff like that, because typically when it is cold and windy, my nose will run, and so I'm going to have Kleenex available to me. But this is great because it gives me that final warm layer over my core, which is the most important part of staying warm for me. And if I get a little overheated, then I can unzip it and it will allow me to cool off just a little bit. So that's my final outer layer there. And then my final accessories, you usually see me wearing this in a lot of my winter videos. I will wear some sort of a hat. So I'm definitely going to have a hat on as well. And this is all fleece lined on the inside. It's super soft and it is super warm. And then this pair of gloves. Gloves are great, especially in the beginning when I'm trying to keep my hands warm. Usually as I keep running, my hands will get warm and I can take these off and shove them in a pocket. But I like having these because they have the fingertips that still allow me to use my watch and my phone. So it'll still allow me to use the electronics without having to take these off. So I've got these as well. And always have my aftershocks with me. These always just keep me motivated. They keep me moving. They give me something to kind of focus on other than how miserable I am. And plus I get into my own head and trying to figure out paces and numbers and stuff like that. And this is one of those races where I'm in a new location. And so I really kind of want to enjoy the experience. And so this will help me not to get into my head too much. I usually have some podcasts, some easy listening podcasts, or I will have some music. There is a playlist that I put together for myself that I specifically use just for longer races. So I can use either one of those, but this gives me something to listen to. And of course, since they are bone conducting, then I can still have my ears open and hear anything that's out on the track. So there you go. And of course, there's always the big question of what shoes are you going to be wearing for the race? And I am just sticking with something old and reliable. These are my Gel Nimbus 24s by Asics. They are great for long runs. I've not really had any problems on the half marathon distance with these. These work really well. So I am going to be wearing those for this race. Like I said, they're reliable, and I feel confident in going through the entire 13.1 miles with them. Now let's take a look at what fueling I'm going to be bringing during the race. Now typically about halfway through the race is when I will take a gel. If all is going well, then that should be somewhere around an hour into the race. And I'm going to be bringing this. I tried this out on a test run and it worked really well, but this is Spring Energy Gel in the Punchy Plum. And this is really good for giving you a nice little energy spike. I will say that after I had this in my test run, not too long after having it, I just felt like I got a second wind, like maybe a mile after I had taken this in. And it didn't set heavy on my stomach, which is usually a problem with some gels. I have to be careful what kind of gels I usually use because they can settle heavy in my system and just make me miserable while I'm trying to run. But I did not have any problem with this. And it's made out of a lot of organic ingredients. It's got basmati rice, banana, honey, molasses, orange juice, beet extract. So there's some great stuff in here. It tastes good, it works well, and so this is what I'm using for my fueling. Now, just in case I happen to be dragging down a little bit, maybe the race is taking longer than I thought because, you know, who knows what factors I'm going to be dealing with, but I am going to have these with me as well. These are the Jelly Belly Sport Beans. They're great. They've got carbs, they've got electrolytes, they've got vitamin B and C, and so these make a really good pick-me-up if I am needing them. And then after the race, I am bringing this. This is the Tailwind Recovery Mix in Salted Caramel. I am absolutely in love with this flavor. Just mix it with water, shake it up, and you're good to go. This is a fantastic recovery drink. Love it, love it, love it. So let's talk a little bit about my strategy for the race. Now, this was going to be one where I was going to try and go for a new PR. However, in coming back from the flu, I just don't know that that's possible. So I'm going to be using this as kind of just really enjoying a new location. I don't get to Oklahoma that often, and so this is going to be one where I'm just kind of checking out. I've seen some videos of the course. I'm going to have a link down below if you would like to see this video. That's a link to the full marathon course, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. It really does seem to be a very nice part of downtown Tulsa. So looking forward to seeing that. So from what I have seen of the course, we're going to be starting in downtown Tulsa, and we're going to be going through some nice residential areas. We're going to be running a trail that goes along the Arkansas River. We're going to end in the Arts District. So just everything that I've seen, it should be a very nice experience, should have plenty of things to look at. I've also taken a look at the hydration on the course, and I believe the longest I ever have to go between hydration stops is around 1.5 to 2 miles, and that's just on one section of the course. There's typically going to be hydration around every mile or so, so I'm not too worried about that. Just taking a look at my overall plan for how I'm going to attack the course is the first 3 or so miles I just want to take at a nice easy pace. It usually takes me that long to kind of get into the groove of what I'm doing. From miles 3 to 6, that's where I would like to pick things up just a smidge. I don't want to go too crazy because I know I've still got more of the race ahead of me. Between miles 6 and 7 is when I plan on doing some refueling. And then after that, from mile 6 to about 10, it's just about maintaining a nice steady pace. Once I get to mile 10, I'm going to evaluate how I'm feeling. I could stick with my run-walk ratio, which at this point I am planning on doing on a 4-minute run to a 1-minute walk. But by the time I get to mile 10, if I am feeling up to it, then what I'm going to do is drop the run-walk ratio and just go for a nice straight run and hopefully pick up the pace just a little bit going all the way to the end. So hopefully that should get me in around 2.5 hours or so. My current PB in the half marathon is 2 hours 18 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to be seeing anything close to that, again, because again, I'm having to deal with the cold, the wind, and coming back from the flu, so I'm not exactly sure what my pace is going to be. That time that I hit that PB, that was in the Walt Disney World Princess Half Marathon. It was fantastic weather. I was in fantastic shape. Everything just kind of, the stars aligned really to make that happen. I'm not really sure if I can have that kind of luck this time. So I am looking for somewhere between 2:18 to 2:30. Now, that's if I'm having a good day. I would just say my general goal would be under 2 hours and 30 minutes. That is just kind of what I'm aiming for. I really think that I should be able to do that really well, but if the wheels fall off and I'm in under 3 hours, I'll be happy with that as well. I'm not going to be elated with it, but at least I will have a chance in another couple of weeks to do another half marathon, and so we'll talk a little bit more about that in a future video. So there you go. That's just kind of my plans, my thoughts around the Route 66 half marathon in Tulsa, Oklahoma on November 20th. So that's just kind of where I'm headed right now. Make sure that you stay tuned to the channel so that you can get a race report. I'm going to be doing an entire video just about the half marathon, and that's going to be coming out next week. So this is your second reminder to make sure that you are subscribed so that you don't miss that when it comes out. You can also follow me on social media. All the links are down in the description. You can find me across all platforms under the name Running Geek Girl. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm so glad you could be here. Remember to laugh hard, run fast, and be kind. See you later.